President Francois Hollande says what looks to be a second French citizen could be identified as a second suspect in a video showing the beheading of an American aid worker and the deaths of 18 Syrian soldiers. Those men are seen in the brutal clip that was released by the Islamic State group. Speaking on his trip to Australia there, President Hollande said the roles of the two men have yet to be determined precisely, as well as that second identity to be completely confirmed. Well, for a bit more on this, let's bring in Wasim Nasra, who's France 24 specialist in jihad. Hello, Wasim. Is there a typical profile of this type of Western jihadist, whether or not this second one is going to be confirmed?
We cannot say that there's a real typical profile today, and besides that, the second person isn't the second Frenchman being involved isn't really confirmed at all, because there's many things that doesn't fit, if we may say so. The guy presented as the French guy today speaks very well Arabic with a Syrian accent, despite the fact that he hasn't had the same eye colors of the Frenchman suspected to be on this video. So besides that, we cannot say that there's a real profile today, because as we saw with Maxime Auchard, which is the Frenchman clearly identified, Auchard didn't have any problems with the police. He was said to be calm. He doesn't have any Arab or Muslim origin. And besides that, we saw on the same video, for example, a British student which was studying medicine, for example. We saw a citizen from Belgium. So there's no real profile. These guys could be very well educated. They could come from any social yes. So no, some of them are former criminals, some of them are students, some of them are engineers, some of them are well educated or less educated, and we should know that they come from all over the world, not only from Western countries. And if we look at the populations, for example, in Western countries, we see that the rate is the same all over, even if we have more Frenchmen. But comparing it with the number of British jihadis, we see that if we look at number of Muslims in these countries, the rates are the same. So everybody today is concerned. This problem should be taken as a political and social problem, and as something to look at very seriously.
Wasim, this is actually one of the first times we've seen these executioners with their faces exposed like this. Why would the Islamic State group decide to do that? Is it a way of showing that their army is made up of people from all nations?
Exactly. There's two messages in this kind of scenery. The first is that they are acting without masks, so they are not afraid, neither of the coalition, neither of the local regimes. And which is really important is to say that this way they become, between brackets, the avengers of the Syrians, because the Syrian soldiers weren't really soldiers. They were officers, pilots. So these pilots are responsible for hitting Syrian towns since like 4 years. And this way, Syrians will look at the Islamic State as their savior or as their avenger. So this is really aimed at that. And as you said, of course, they want to portray themselves as an international army which goes beyond ethnicities and beyond nationalities and countries. And this is why we see people from Asian origin, people from Arab origin, people from Western origins, all in the same video, all wearing the same uniform, which portrays them as a real army and not just as a group or as an insurgent group, and which reflects a big organization and a big determination. So these guys are acting this way openly because they do not intend to go back. They intend to fight there till the end, if we may say so. They have a real political project. They believe in it. Either it's wrong, it's good or not, it's another question. But they are very determined people, and I guess that we are way beyond Al-Qaeda and the way Al-Qaeda functioned like 10 years ago or even till now.
All right, Wasim Nasir, thank you so much for that.